Yeah, hello everyone. Um, as we can see now, Nairaland, as at the time of this recording, Nairaland has been offline for over 2 days now, and so I decided to do a quick video based on some wrong assumptions that have been going around. So as someone who has been into tech for quite a while, I would like to explain some things regarding Nairaland's current outage. Um, day first day, the founder of Nairaland put out a tweet saying that an unscheduled maintenance operation by our host has led to downtime on Nairaland. We are working on it with them, but it will take a while to restore it. Now, that very statement, you know, uh, made it look as if the Nairaland founder was not being forthright. He was not being truthful, because whenever there is an unscheduled maintenance by any, it means a fault has come up. And when a data center has a major fault, they would let you know that this is there within this time frame. They would be able to resolve the matter. But he just said, he just said, it will take a while. He didn't give any specific time, so you could tell that he was trying to manage the situation, by telling a lie. So then some hours later, he now said, "I'm sorry, guys. Nairaland isn't coming back today. It's a human issue, not a technical issue. This did not need to happen at all. A little oversight caused this." And he claims that he's begging them. So what exactly happened? He's he now eventually made a tweet that was a bit clearer by saying that there was an issue with abuse. So there was an issue with abuse based on his server that he had leased with his data center. So many Nigerians who didn't understand the term abuse were just throwing around different speculations that yes, they've taken down your server because you allow people of different tribes to be abusing themselves. But that's not the way abuse is. When you hear the term abuse in tech, it's not insulting somebody. That's not what it means. Abuse in tech means you are misusing a certain resource that has been allocated to you. So it doesn't mean that you are abusing anybody or you are being tribalistic. It's like when people in the medical field say somebody is abusing a drug. It doesn't mean the person is insulting the drug. It means the person is misusing it. So when a dedicated server provider tells you that you are abusing the server they've given to you, it means that you are doing something that is against their terms and conditions. And for Nairaland, we don't know what exactly they did, but one can only speculate based on experience. Normally, the kind of things that would make a server a dedicated server provider disable your server, it's mostly has to do with copyright most times. Like if Nairaland's ability to the public, anybody can go there and post anything. So let's say somebody just goes to, just for example, goes to the website of New York Times, takes an exclusive article written by New York Times and post it on Nairaland, just for information's sake. Now, you see the problem with that is that the New York Times are relying on traffic on their website to fund their operations, to pay their journalists, to pay their columnists, and to run the company. So when the problem with copying other people's content is that search engines would not even, or sometimes cannot even distinguish between the original and the fake. So sometimes you realize that the article that was copied to Nairaland could actually be ranking higher on search engines than the original owner of the article. So these companies usually take it very seriously, so they're always looking out for people who are posting their articles on other websites without permission. So what they'll do is they'll just get in touch with the dedicated server provider and tell them, hey, this site Nairaland has our article and we didn't give them the permission to submit it. So I'm sure when the host just contacted, the host would have sent a mail to this Sheun, the founder, and would have told him that, hey, look, take down this article because people are complaining about it. Now you can tell he ignored it. It should show you, that tells you a lot about his character, that he's not a serious-minded person. Because no matter how busy you are, if you have an online business and the business is bringing in certain amount of revenue for you, at least you should log in once a day to check out everything, to check out the emails attached to that server, to check out, anything that might be wrong and fix it. But he's saying for 4 days he did nothing. So they complained and he did nothing. Now, what usually makes the dedicated server provider a bit scared is that if the person who is complaining, the entity complaining, is based in America, and Nairaland's server provider is also based in America, they can become liable to a lawsuit. Basically, the entity can sue them and say, yes, we told you to take it down, you didn't take it down, so it means you are cooperating with this person who was violating our copyright. So in that kind of case, the dedicated server provider will have no choice but to go and disable the server, so that they should, in order to save themselves, from any kind of legal liability. But now, the second issue now is, okay, so why is it taking him so long to bring the site back up? Why? I mean, if they disabled him on this data center, why doesn't he just look for another data center and move his server? You see, it's not that easy, especially for a site of Nairaland's scale. Nairaland is about, I think the site has been online for about 18 years. So that means their data on that server will be very large. It means their data will be anywhere from maybe 10 to 20 terabytes. And migrating 10 to 20 terabytes from one server location to another data center location can be a pain because it is very large. So what are things that determine the speed if you want to migrate from one data center to another data center? Number one, the speed of your server setup. What kind of CPU do you have on it? What kind of RAMs do you have on it? What kind of storage do you have on it? If you are trying to save money and your server has the old mechanical drives, as in the old drives everyone used before, we had SSDs that were faster, the migration can take almost forever to complete. So let's say you want to migrate 10 terabytes of data from one data center to another, and your server is not too fast. It could take you 2 days or 3 days to complete the migration. But if you are doing a migration from a server that is very well set up, very well optimized with NVMe SSD drives, and you are moving it to another data center, it won't take long. Everything will be completed within 1 day. So the time that this stuff is taking shows you that he has a very cheap server setup and doesn't want to spend much money, he doesn't want to spend much money to host his website, which is understandable. It's a Nigerian website. Nigerian online businesses in Nigeria don't really, are not really making too much money when it comes to the monetization aspect of their website. So it's understandable that he's, also trying to save money. So, but all things said and done, some people are saying, "Oh, that's it. It's gone forever." No, it's not gone forever. The only reason why you are seeing these delays is because of the size of the data that he's trying to migrate out. So, the site would definitely, be back on. So, I just said I should, do a small explanation regarding Nairaland.